Izakaya are one of the places you should experience at least once in Japan. They offer affordable drinks and a wide range of dishes, but they're also unique social spaces where people's honest feelings, relationships, and work attitudes quietly surface. Because izakaya are such a familiar part of everyday life for Japanese people, understanding them is one of the quickest ways to understand Japan itself. In this video, we explore what people talk about there and why they gather, revealing a more authentic picture of Japanese society. Izakaya culture grew alongside Japan's salarymen, white-collar workers shaped by a corporate system that long emphasized lifetime employment, seniority, and strong after-hours ties. After World War II, Japanese companies operated on the assumption of lifelong employment. Many salarymen expected to stay with one company until retirement. During the rapid growth era, long working hours were valued, and co-workers often became a second family. At the same time, Japanese people place great importance on human relationships and tend to avoid direct or confrontational communication. Instead, they value reading facial expressions and sensing the atmosphere, placing importance on the ability to intuit unspoken feelings and circumstances. This kind of understanding is not possible simply because people share the same ethnicity, but because they share, to some extent, common values and social backgrounds. Izakaya became the stage for this kind of interaction. For salarymen who were expected to work with the same colleagues for decades, these pubs provided an ideal place to talk more openly with the help of alcohol and to understand each other's personalities and ways of thinking. Going out, drinking with coworkers after work became almost an extension of the job, and a boss who took subordinates out for drinks was often seen as attentive and supportive. At the time, it was widely believed that socializing outside working hours improved organizational performance. With these work habits and values in place, the izakaya industry expanded in step with Japan's economic growth. At Izakaya, supervisors and subordinates set aside their titles and share concerns, frustrations, and family matters, information that would never surface in formal workplace settings. By deepening relationships in this way, agreement building and decision-making in the following day's meetings often became smoother. In this sense, Izakaya were places where this kind of invisible work took place, not merely places to eat and drink. Even today, some companies offer subsidies for after-work drinking gatherings, reflecting a persistent belief that communication mediated by alcohol is effective for building relationships. This dynamic is not limited to companies. It can also be seen among friends and schoolmates. For many Japanese people, the idea of speaking honestly is closely associated with drinking together, and sharing time in a drinking setting is seen as a way to shorten emotional distance. Building relationships through alcohol is not unique to Japan. However, izakaya have their own distinct character. In addition to developing as an extension of work life, they often feature a style of dining in which several people share the same dishes. Gathering around shared plates helps foster a sense of unity among the group, one of the defining qualities of izakaya culture.
Travel trivia, reading intent from the atmosphere. Here's one example of a distinctly Japanese style of communication, sensing another person's feelings from the situation rather than from explicit words. In Japan, drivers sometimes flash their hazard lights a few times to express thanks. For instance, if you let another car merge in front of you, the driver may blink their hazards briefly right afterward. This isn't an official rule taught in driving schools. Instead, it emerged naturally as an unspoken signal among Japanese drivers who interpreted the gesture from context. Hazard lights are normally used when stopping, but flashing them now must mean something. I just let that car in, so those blinks must be a thank you. Over time, this intuitive reading of intent spread, and the gesture became a common way to show gratitude on the road.
One sight that often surprises visitors to Japan is seeing drunk salarymen in suits on the streets or on trains late at night. As noted earlier, drinking together has long been viewed in Japan as an important way to close interpersonal distance. Because of this, even people who are not strong drinkers may push themselves to keep up with the mood of the group. There is, of course, the idea that adults should control how much they drink. Still, in Japanese society, the willingness to stay out and drink to the point of heavy intoxication despite being bad with alcohol, is often interpreted positively as an effort to fit into the community. That said, if someone gets drunk and causes trouble every time, the reaction quickly turns to enough already. Perhaps because this background is widely understood, many Japanese, especially middle-aged and older people, pay little attention when they see drunk salarymen in public. Train stations even display posters warning passengers to watch out for intoxicated riders, showing that society has long operated on the assumption that drunken commuters were around. There are also structural reasons. In large metropolitan areas such as Tokyo and Osaka, commuting by train is the norm, so people do not need to worry about driving back home and can drink without that risk. Many izakaya offer set menus for around 4,500 yen that include a full course of food and 2 hours of all-you-can-drink alcohol. The price stays the same no matter how much you drink system naturally encourages higher levels of consumption. The sight becomes even more common at certain times of the year. Since Japan's business and school year begins in April, farewell and welcome parties are concentrated around that period. In December, numerous year-end parties are held with coworkers, friends, and business partners, followed by New Year gatherings in January. Most of these events assume drinking and are often held at izakaya. During the cherry blossom season from March to April, it is also common to see people enjoying food and drinks together under the blooming trees. In this way, Japanese people repeatedly gather at key moments throughout the year to bring themselves closer together. By sharing these occasions and the values and backgrounds that come with them, they form relationships in which it becomes easier to sense one another's intentions and feelings, even with very few words. In the late 1980s, Japan entered an unprecedented economic boom known as the bubble economy. During this period, companies repeatedly hosted dinners with business partners to expand deals and strengthen relationships, and lavish company-sponsored banquets were also common, often framed as a way to reward employees. Drinking with coworkers and clients, already part of workplace culture, intensified during these years, and the izakaya industry reached its peak. As an aside, young people who were job hunting during this extraordinary boom often received offers from multiple well-known companies. That generation came to be called the bubble generation and is sometimes viewed with a hint of cynicism as the group for whom job hunting was unusually easy. However, when the bubble burst in 1991, the situation changed dramatically. Bank failures and a wave of corporate mergers created deep uncertainty about Japan's economic future, and companies moved quickly to cut unnecessary expenses. The first things to go were business entertainment and large drinking parties. Around the year 2000, a series of major labor reforms opened many duties, previously limited to full-time employees, to non-regular workers as well. To cut personnel costs, companies increased their reliance on these lower-paid temporary workers, resulting in more people with unstable employment and lower incomes. The term income inequality began to appear in public discourse, and many people grew more budget-conscious, reducing the money they spent on dining out and after-work drinking. Around the same time, job mobility among full-time workers began to grow, and new work patterns emerged that differed from Japan's traditional model of lifelong employment. This shift weakened a long-standing assumption that people needed to build deep relationships with coworkers because they would stay at the same company for decades and, as a result, reduce the necessity of going to izakaya after work. In response, izakaya and other restaurants tried to prevent customer decline by competing on lower prices, but this strategy reduced profit margins and made management even more difficult. From this period onward, Japan entered what is often called the lost 30 years, a long stretch of economic stagnation. Japan's GDP, which ranked second in the world in 2000, has since fallen to fifth place, and real wages have remained almost flat for roughly 3 decades. Even if city streets appear lively, many Japanese people still carry a sense of uncertainty about the future, and that gap has influenced the way izakaya are used today. On top of these long-term changes, the global spread of COVID-19 dealt an additional blow to the izakaya industry. Even after the pandemic eased, the effects did not disappear completely. With remote work becoming more common, people felt less need to gather after hours, and many began thinking, it's not so bad to drink at home, it's cheaper anyway. A growing focus on health has also led more people, especially younger generations, to avoid alcohol altogether, making the environment surrounding izakaya even more challenging. On the other hand, foreign tourists have become an important source of support for the izakaya industry. But as their numbers increase, new challenges have emerged. One common issue is that some visitors make multiple izakaya just in case and simply fail to show up at the places they don't choose without giving any notice. In one ski resort town, a growing number of izakaya reportedly stopped accepting bookings from foreign customers altogether because too many don't show up even after making reservations. These no-shows create an atmosphere in which izakaya become hesitant to accept foreign reservations. If you make a reservation, you are expected to keep it or cancel it properly if you can't go. That simple act of responsibility is an important part of using izakaya in Japan with good manners. Even in this challenging environment, izakaya continue to adapt in order to survive. They are gradually transforming from spaces once centered mainly on salarymen into more casual dining places open to everyone. Many now feature interiors and menus designed to be welcoming to families and groups of women, along with a wider range of non-alcoholic options and other thoughtful adjustments. Still, the core role izakaya have long played remains unchanged. They are places where people deepen relationships by gathering around shared food and drinks.